Hey everyone, my name is Saskia Desir, and in this video, I'll explain how a stimulus travels from the brain all the way to the fingers, including the roles of the nerves, the neuromuscular junction, and the sliding filament mechanism. So it all started in the motor context of the brain. This is where voluntary movement is planned. The signal travels down through the brainstem and into the spinal cord via upper motor neurons. Once in the spinal cord, the signal reaches lower motor neurons, which exit the spinal cords and travels through peripheral nerves. These nerves carries electrical signals toward the muscle in the arm and hand. Alright, so far we talk about from brain to spinal cord to peripheral nerves, and now we are going to talk about the neuromuscular junction. So, neuromuscular junction. This is where the nerves and the muscles meet, but they do not touch. When the nerve reaches a muscle, so it connects at a special site called neuromuscular junction, which I explained to you. So here the electrical signal causes the release of a chemical called acetylcholine, binds to receptors on the muscle's cell membrane, which then it triggers an action potential in the muscle. Okay, so now we are going to be talking about muscle activation and action potential. Alright, so the action potential, it travels along the muscle fiber membrane and into structures called T-tubules. Now, this causes the release of calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is key for muscle contraction. Alright, so far we've talked about the brain to spinal cord to peripheral nerves, the neuromuscular junction, muscle activation and action potential. So lastly, we are going to talk about the sliding filament. Alright, this is a view of the sarcomere, and in the sarcomere we have our thick filament, which is the red, also known as myosin, and we also have the thin filament, which is the little blue line, is also known as actin. Alright, so after the sarcoplasmic reticulum release the calcium, so there are two proteins found in the actin, which is the triple-9 and triple myosin. Okay, so when the calcium is released by the sarcoplasmic reticulum, the triple-9 will bind to the calcium, which then lifts up the triple myosin. And now the actin and the myosin, they will interact. The myosin head will pull on actin filament, shortening the muscle fiber. Now this is called the sliding filament mechanism. And this is how the muscles contract and how you are able to move your fingers. Once the sarcoplasmic stop releasing calcium, the contraction will be over. So from the brain to spinal cord, through nerves, across the neuromuscular junction, and into the muscle fiber, this is how your brain tells your fingers to move.